My name is Teresa. I am the owner and artisan at NTS Design Co. I come live with you every Wednesday on the Dixie Belle YouTube page at 10 a.m. And as you guys are popping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is not, then welcome back. I have some fun projects for you today. I'm trying to squat down because I have a bunch of things I want to do today. So I'm going to step behind the dresser and I'm going to show you what we got going on today that we have planned on this spectacular, beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I have no head. All right, let's try to fix that. Let's give me a head because that's important, right? I need a head. Okay, let me guide you guys up. It's so hard to tell where the camera needs to be because it doesn't give me a preview. So I just have to kind of guess. Still have no head. All right, we're getting closer though. All right, let's see. I'm gonna bring you guys up just a little bit more. And hopefully I'll have a head. Let's see. I have a pretty tall tripod, so thankfully for that, I can move you guys up and around pretty easily. All right, that is as far as she's gonna go. I wanna be able to show you the things that we're doing today. So I've been working on this MCM dresser. I still don't have a head. This is super annoying. Hi guys, I'm the Headless Horseman. Okay, let's see if I can move you back just a little bit. All right, bear with me. All right, super annoying. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get, and I give up after that. So I will either have a head or not. Yay, I have a head. Okay, awesome. So you can't see the front of it because you have to be able to see the top. So I'm working on this MCM dresser. It's gorgeous. I painted this in Anchor and this all-in-one silk line. We worked on this guy together when I primed it. And I painted it over on the Dixie Belle main page over on the FB. And today we will be finishing her up. So she's ready to go to my booth after today. I'm super excited. So I am going to be using the applicator pads. I love these applicator pads. They're super versatile. They're foamy, they're squishy, they are amazing. I love them. I use them for so many things. I can use them for stain. I can use them for Big Mama's butter. I can use them to wax. They're just really versatile and they're pretty inexpensive and you can wash them if you use them with water-based products. Hello, I can't read because you are so far away. KL from Georgia. Thank you so much for watching today. So what I'm going to be doing to the top of this is I'm going to be sealing this with the Best Staying Wax in Clear. When I do wood tops, I will either seal it in gator hide or I'll seal it in wax. I chose wax because this is very porous. And I just really loved that soft feel of the wax. So I want to go ahead and demonstrate that with you guys today. And then I'm going to seal the sides of her in the wax because I get that asked a whole lot. How do you seal black paint without getting streak marks? You can use Dixie Belle Satin Clear Coat if you want to. You just paint a couple thin coats on very, very thinly, and that works like a dream. Or you can seal it with Howdy Doody hemp oil, or you can seal it with the Best Staying Wax in Clear. You can use Easy Peasy Spray Wax. You can use a numerous amount of things. I like to use either Satin Clear Coat because that's my go-to, or the Best Staying Wax in Clear. So we will be we will be sealing the top of this dresser in the wax, and then we will be applying gold gilding wax to the drawer fronts. My drawers, I usually will paint them, but this is really tight and they rub. So if I add paint, yes, I could sand all the sides down. You can do that. But I thought with this MCM piece, I thought I would just stay true to the black and gold. When I do MCM pieces, I really enjoy painting them in black and gold. It's like my favorite thing ever. It's just what I love to do, and then have a nice warm stain on the top of it. I just feel like it just kind of stays in that time frame. I kind of feel like you have to pay tribute to the piece of furniture depending on what time frame it's from. And obviously this is a true MCM. This is from the 1950s. It has a stamp on the back and stickers, and it is actually a lot of MCM pieces will be MDF, and so this one I was lucky enough to get, and it's wood. And I have the entire set. So I have the tall dresser and I have a nightstand as well. So I chose to paint this one And I will paint the entire set probably the same, maybe not. I have no idea yet. I haven't decided. Sometimes I'll paint it differently because not everybody wants a full set. So, but I didn't get any requests for it, so she's not spoken for. So I just went ahead and painted it the way that I wanted to. So I wanted to paint her black today, and I chose the Silk all-in-one paint in Anchor. And this has top coating and priming capabilities, but I did prime it and I did top coat it. The reason for that is because I sell my pieces of furniture and I like to have that extra security blanket to know that my piece is going to last for a very long time. And it's going to be moved a couple times. So it's not just something that I did a custom and it's going straight into their home. And that was the case, then I would paint it maybe differently. But since I am selling it and it is going to my booth space, I just like that. I'm a creature of habit. I like to prime and I like to top coat my pieces. That way I just know it's going to add that extra layer of security for me and for my customer and just all of the things. So again, we painted this in Silk Anchor, which is a beautiful black color. It is my favorite that I use. I use this in Caviar, or my two go-to blacks. They are my favorite. So I did use this and it is amazing. Move this over there. And then I stained the top of this piece of furniture in walnut and the no pain gel stain in walnut. I did do that on my Dixie Belle Live last week. So now we are going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to seal the top of this with wax. All right, so what I like to do, I wear gloves, I get my nails done, and I like to try to, like, especially because I just got them done yesterday, I like to try to prolong my manicures because they're, they're pretty. So I do wear gloves. I wear gloves when I stain and I wear gloves when I wax. And also, I just really just don't want that product on my hand. And when I'm doing lives, a lot of the times I'm not just going to do this and stop and be able to go wash my hands because that's not really good for, live. That doesn't really work so well. So I wear gloves. All right. You don't have to. I do. It's water-based. It comes off on, with just soap and water. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to open up. And again, I am using the applicator pads. The applicator pads is great for applying stain, wax, or oil evenly to surfaces. You can just apply a small amount of product, whatever, however you want to do that. You can wash these. If you're going to use the wax, you can reuse them. You can wash them with soap and water and they will just dry perfectly if you choose to. So you can save your products. You can have like one sponge that you just use for wax. Okay. And they come like this. They're super soft. They bend. I love them. Another reason why I love them so much is because they do have that foam in there. So when I'm applying something, I'm offloading it at the same time, which is great. So I don't really have to go back and buff things, or I don't have to wipe back. Like if I'm applying my stain, I will just apply my stain. And then when I'm done, I just turn it over and then I just wipe back. And so that way I'm not really having to use more than one product. And it's not wasteful. They do absorb a lot of the product, so you don't have to re-dip. All right, so that's the applicator sponges. They come in 2-packs, and you can find those on your Dixie Belle page where you shop. I'm gonna put that over there for just a moment. Actually, I'm gonna stick this down here because I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that next. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is let me walk over here so you guys can see like the downside of me doing a dresser. I have to walk back and forth. So it's white, right? It looks white. It's not white though. It applies white, it dries clear. So you're gonna take your sponge. What I like to do is I will just bend it just a little bit, okay? And I like to wipe the inside. You can't really see. You see how much product's on there? There's a good amount of product on there. I mean, I'm not lobbing it on there, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just going ahead and I'm wiping the inside of my container. Okay, and then we're gonna start on one end. So we're gonna start right here and we're gonna work our way over. It doesn't matter which side, you can start in the middle. I just like to start on the edges. So, and plus I can slide my product along with me. So I'm just gonna apply that on there and I'm just gonna wipe back and forth. And as you can see, it does apply white. Okay, I'm not worried about getting this on the front because I already sealed this in that wax. So it's not like I'm getting wax on something I don't want to, and it's fine. And see, so now I've got it on there and I'm just kind of wiping it until it's translucent. And you can tell the difference. Wax on my hand. You can, hello, we're just gonna smear wax everywhere. All right, so we have a good bit on here. What I like to do is you can see how it looks white in my wood grain. And that's how I know that I've filled my wood grain. And that's what I like to do. I want my wood grain filled. So that's going to seal it. And then I can wipe back. And I'm not worried that's going to dry clear, okay? It doesn't dry white, don't worry. You have the white, I just got wax in my hair. It will dry white if you have the white wax. This is clear, so it will dry clear. And we're just going to apply that on here. If you notice that some of your stain comes off, that's okay. This has been drying for days, so my wax is sealed. Get back here. All right, let me slide this over. I feel like I keep getting wax in my hair. I'm gonna have some crazy hair later, y'all. All right, we're just gonna rub this in. And I like to go in sections. And just like paint, I will make sure that my finishing stroke is nice and even just so I can wipe it back. And I can see the area. I don't know if you can tell the difference. You can see the sheen where the wax is to where it's not. Okay, and I just like to make sure my edges are nice and sealed. And then I'll just wipe, just like you would with paint. Okay. And I like to overlap just a little bit to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I do this with top coat, I do it with the oil, any kind of product that I'm using. I do like to overlap, especially with stain or anything like that, because you just don't want to miss anything and have it be splotchy. And that's the good thing about these pads, is because you can just you can wipe back and forth, however which way you want to go. But I like those nice, long finishing strokes that are even. And I'll go in circles, however you want to apply it on there. It really doesn't matter. You can go with the wood grain. You can scrub it on there. Make sure you really get your product in your grain so it's good and protected. All right, and then get our edges. And I will kind of go in circles. And then my nice last finishing strokes, I'll just kind of rub them linear. Okay, and you can tell the difference, again, the sheen to the knot, and it's really pretty, and it just gives it that nice, soft, buttery feel, which I love. It's super amazing, because when you're in a booth space, like if you're buying something, I don't know how you are, but I like to touch everything. I want to know it's soft. Like a lot of the times I'll pick my clothing, I don't care what it looks like, I just want it to be soft. The same with furniture. People want to touch things. They're going to go, oh my gosh, this is that soft, buttery finish on the top. It makes people buy that. If the dresser is all like, sometimes when like the wood is rough and you can feel it, people may not want that. People may want something a little softer to touch. It just feels good. I'm all about the feel. Yeah, it can look great, but does it feel good too when you touch it? It's just like you just can tell that someone just went that little extra mile and did just a little extra stuff just to make it a little different. And that's how you can stand out from your other artists in your area or in your booth space, or just for yourself if you're doing this at home. We're just going to scrub on down. Grab my edge just to make sure there's no overlap. There we go. It just looks so pretty. All right, now we're going to just slide on down, and I can just put that over there. And again, I do like to overlap just a little bit just to ensure that I haven't missed anything. I can tell I missed here and here, so I'm just going to grab a little more product. And then we're just going to grab our edges and go back and forth. It doesn't take very long to do this. And your cure time is going to be about the same for anything else. You're not going to want to put anything on top of it for at least 24 hours just to give that wax good enough time to cure up. Like, you're not going to want to do this and then go put this in a window next to the sun and put a TV on top of it or something. You don't want to do that. You want to give it some time, just like everything else. Have you guys used wax before? If so, what one is your favorite? Do you have a favorite? Do you like using the brown, the black, the gray grunge? What's your fave? Coming over here and doing this little over here. You guys are quiet today. Okay, so now that I'm coming to this corner, I want to make sure that everything on my edges is good. Come back just a little bit more. All right, so this is where I told you I like to do my nice long finishing strokes. So I'm going to go ahead, put my lid on my wax, put that down here. Let's rub that in. Again, like I said before, I did seal this in the wax, so I had a big chunk on there. All I have to do is just spread it out. No big deal. Okay, we're going to come nice, long, linear strokes as we're finishing to make sure that it's all rubbed in evenly so there's not any weird random swirl mark in the middle or like a big chunk that I may or may have missed. Okay, and if you want, you can turn your pad over and you can kind of buff it. If you feel like you had a lot of product left over on the top, you can definitely do that, and that's going to remove any of the excess that you may have on there. All right, now I'm going to slide you guys to the side, and we're just going to do the wax. Don't mind my messy shop. We're going to do the wax on the side of the piece of furniture because I've already done the front, so we're going to slide you guys down, and we're going to do right here. Try not to make you guys vomit with all the shaking. Okay. There's that. Let me go grab my wax and my pad. You guys know I have a little pad I like to sit on so that doesn't kill my knees or any of the other things. Gotta protect your knees, right? All right, let's turn her. She's not terribly heavy, so I can turn her a little easier. I'm gonna bring you guys in just a little bit more. Again, with that clear wax, we're gonna use the same side. We're gonna give it a nice good rub, and then we're gonna just apply it to our paint. It's gonna make sure that there's no, you know how sometimes when you're using black paint, you can get those little streaky marks. This will make sure that you don't have any. We're just applying it on there. Come back with a little bit more. I like to go across the bottom separately and like my edges, and then kind of work my way in. Come back last time, right here in the middle. rub it in. I know it looks a hot mess right now, but I promise you it dries clear. Okay. Now we're going to take our clean side and we're just going to get any of that excess off that we don't need. See how nice and smooth that looks? We're removing any of that excess and we're buffing that wax into our paint. Give it that nice, soft, buttery feel. Come back here. All right. And I go nice and light with my last little strokes just to make sure I'm not moving any of that wax around. And that's that. It's nice and soft, streak-free. You're just gonna, like I said, let that dry for like 24 hours or so. All right. I'm gonna leave this here on the other side so that I can show for content later. Okay, I'm gonna leave my same gloves on because now we're gonna have some fun. Okay, I'm gonna sneak you guys in really close. So this is the hardware that I'm using. It is adjustable hardware that I ordered off of Amazon. How often do I need to treat it? Well, it's not mine, so I treat it once, then I send it on its way. That's about that. So just know that it's waxed and it'll need to be reapplied maybe once a year. Other than that, you know, just honestly, I have furniture that I have waxed that I've only ever waxed once and I've never needed to retreat it, and it's been in my house for years. Most people aren't going to pay a lot of money for a dresser and stick it in a kid's room that's going to have sticky cups and Play-Doh and stickers and gross little fingers all over it. So for me, I just do it once. It's waxed. I send it on its way. I list the products that are used on it, and that's that. All right. So now we're going to do a couple things. Actually, I'm going to do something else before I do that first. All right, so we're going to treat the inside of this dresser. It was kind of rough. I had to sand it just a little bit. I am going to grab my other applicator sponge. And for this you're going to need to buff back. And by buff back, I mean it's oil-based, so you can use it on your dresser to refresh your wood, but you're going to need to clean it thoroughly the next day. So you're going to let this soak in for 24 hours, and you're going to go back with a microfiber cloth or clean one of these, and you're going to re-wipe everything because this is oil-based, and yes, it's going to refresh our wood and it's going to make our dresser smell amazing. But if you put too much product in here and you just leave it in there and you sell your dresser and someone puts their clothes inside of it, it's going to absorb into their clothes and you're not going to be happy. So, because I would not be happy if I spent X amount of dollars on a dresser and then everything that I put inside of it was ruined. So you want to make sure that you wipe this back. So we're going to take the Big Mama's butter in Orange Grove. I'm going to take my applicator sponge and I'm just going to fling it across my shop. I'm going to put about that much on there, and that's honestly probably too much. So I'm just going to wipe some of that off. I'm in my shop and it's warm here this week, so it's a little more schmeltier than it normally would be. And yes, schmelty, that's the word. All right, I'm going to tip you guys down. I'm going to open this drawer up as much as I can so you can see. All right, and then I'm just going to, you see how that just took care and nourished that drawer? All right, there's like bleach spots on there. I can't do anything about that. That's just what's on the wood. But what I can do is refresh this wood with this Big Mama's butter. And it's going to make my drawer smell amazing. It's going to make it look amazing. And my client is going to be super happy when they open this up when they're shopping. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this dresser smells amazing. It doesn't smell dusty and musty and gross like an older dresser. So, because there's nothing worse than going to like a beautiful antique store and seeing a beautiful dresser and opening it up and then it smells. You don't want anything to smell like mildew. Not cool. So we're just wiping this down. I'm going to get a little bit more. Not a lot. I'm just going to use what I wiped off over here. And we're just going to work in small circles. And this will clean any dust or anything that you left over or that you may have missed when you were cleaning. I'm going to grab, also what I like to do, I don't want to touch this, I'll do the sides of my dresser drawers, like over here. You can pull them out, obviously I'll pull them out, but I pull them out and I put the Big Mama's butter all along the sides of the dresser. I also do my drawer tracks underneath so that when I pull my dresser drawers out, they glide nice and smoothly. I will also take a sanding sponge and I will run it across the bottom of my tracks just to ensure that anything that I'm doing in that matter is going to be nice and smooth and soft. Again, now you can take the clean side of your sponge and you can just, for right now, all intents and purposes, wipe it back really, really well. Now, this is going to get anything that, you know, you had excess on here. Also, tomorrow, because look how much came off, okay? There's still a lot on there. So tomorrow, after I've let this soak for 24 hours, I'm going to go back again with a clean one of these pads and re-wipe that drawer so that I can know with all confidence that if someone puts their clothes in there, the oil is not going to penetrate through their clothes, because that would not be good, okay? Let me just grab this because I got a little something here. I just want to get that off before it makes my dresser look greasy. Okay, and that's just the pad that had the wax on it, and I'm just wiping back a little bit. Okay, now these have oil on them. I'm going to take them off because I don't want to have oily hands. Okay, and then touch my dresser. You don't want to do that. So you just want to make sure that you can either do that part first before you wax, or however you want to do it. My hands are sweaty. I'm not going to be able to get that on there. Okay, so now this is the fun part. I've already done the other drawers, so I only saved one so you didn't have to watch me do this like 15 times. So I have the gold gilding wax, okay? And so I'm just going to pop this open. I painted the bottom of this with gold gilding wax, and I painted the inside of the drawers. And like I said, do you see how tight those drawers are right there? Like, you can't see. They fit snug. So if I painted that, it's gonna chip and it's gonna catch. So no matter, and they're tight towards the top. So no matter what I do, that paint is gonna rub off. I could sand all of it down, but then you would be able to see that. And sometimes that's not like the best thing either, because you can see it. Just trying to rub some of that off. All right, hold on one second. Let me get that off of there. All right, there we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have an artisan brush from Dixie Belle. They come in like a little pack and you can get your artist brushes. This is the gold gilding wax. I am just putting some on and I'm wiping it back. So I put it on and then I'm wiping it back on both sides so I don't have a ton on here. I'm gonna bring you guys in, don't worry. All right, and so now I didn't do anything to this. This is just how it came. All right. And I am just painting. And if I get some on here, it's fine. You can just wipe it back with your little wax. It'll come right off. All right. I'm just painting this on here. Coming all the way up to the edge. And if you get it on the edge, just use your finger. You can wipe it off. It's not a big deal. All right. Again, I have that much on there. I'm wiping it. I want my paintbrush to be flat. The flatter, the better. See how it's nice and flat? And we're just painting that on. And we're coming up to our edge. I'm going to take my finger and wipe back. And this way, when you open the drawer, you have that little surprise element of sparkle. It smells good. And you don't have to worry about this rubbing off. It's not going to. It's going to stay there. It's not paint. I will not be sealing this. This is gold gilding wax, and I don't need to. We're just painting that on. And Nice long strokes. Isn't that a fun little touch? I think so. It's super easy. This wax lasts forever too, by the way. So I'm using very, very little. Something that you probably have lying around anyway. This is just one more way that you can use this to add that wow factor to your pieces of furniture. Let me slide over. Okay, sitting on my heels does not feel good. Okay. I'm just wiping it back. This is kind of where you have to concentrate a little bit. And since the front of my dresser is already sealed, it wipes off a lot easier than it would if it wasn't. Bring it over. I missed a spot. All right. Let's go do this little edge down here that I have left, and I'll do the sides, and I'll show you. Very blingy. I just dropped wax on the floor. Pick that up before I carry that somewhere else on my foot in my shop. Because I will. All right. A little more than I would like, so we're just going to offload some of that. I am wiping it on my pants, but I am wearing paint shorts today, so it's okay. All right, so again, we're just going to apply it. Bring it down just a little more. Try not to make you vomit. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That angle right there. Okay, so we're just going to come over here, grab the last little bit on that edge, do nice long strokes to make sure that there's nothing crazy. Okay, and then I'm left-handed, so this might be tricky. Is it that side or this side? Okay, so now we're just going to do the edge. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and you're going to come in here. You want your brush to be as flat as possible to give you control. And that's it. How pretty is that? So then your edges on your dresser, when you open your drawers, will be super pretty. Ah, gold, pretty and shiny. And then on the sides and the bottom. Here, let me show you. We're going to step back. Let me find my lid. Where's my lid? I took it off. Here it is. So I'm going to show you the bottom, because I did do the bottom. I painted the entire bottom of this piece of furniture. See down here, that's all gold gilding wax. So I did that all the way around. I did all my edges. I was going to come in here and try to do these little teeny tiny lines, but there was no way for me to really honestly do that. So I just left it because I was not going to kill myself trying to do that. It just was not in the stars. So, but yes, when you open up the drawers, they're gold on the edges, and then they smell nice and pretty with the Big Mama's butter. The top is soft. It's already dry. You don't have to worry about that. There's not a lot on there. That's the other reason why I like to use those pads, is because if I'm touching it, I'm not leaving fingerprint marks in it. And I'm also not like picking up a ton of like extra product on there, because you don't want to lob it on there. And I can go back again with my sponge if there's any areas that like I feel that just need a little more like love. Like if this has like some extra fingerprint marks on it, and just come back in here with your wax, and you can always do a second coat of wax. It's not a big deal. Very, very easy, very forgiving. I will add my hardware to it. Again, I was using adjustable hardware. I'm going to do gold knobs on there, and it's going to be really pretty. I'm really excited about this piece of furniture. Like I said, with MCMs, I really love just that black and gold, like very classic look. It's really pretty. I really do enjoy that. So hopefully that taught you guys something today. We went over how to seal a top with wax, how to seal the sides with wax, and how to clean the inside with Big Mama's butter, and then doing some gold gilding wax just for some extra bling surprise. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I greatly appreciate it. I'd be honored if you went over and followed me over on the NTS Design Co. page. Thank you. And I will return to you guys next Wednesday at 10 a.m. with one of her sister pieces. I probably will show you guys how to fix a piece with Dixie Mud, because her taller sister, which is why I opted not to do this one first, because it didn't require any fixing other than just like basic cosmetic stuff. The other one, a dog chewed on it. So I have to remake the shape of the curve. I can do it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So stay tuned for next week, and we will fix her tall sister. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day. Thank you, Dixie Belle, for having me, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Have a great day.